Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to TLR, the Ludicrous Report. Issa and Joey here. Another fantastic episode ahead. So many fun topics to talk about. I mean, some celebrity gossip, some celebrity civil warfare, just a bunch of fun stuff. And I already see the chat rolling in. So hello all. We appreciate you. Issa, what's going on?
Not much. How are you?
I'm good. The weather here has been really, really shitty. Best way to say it.
Okay.
Dark
Okay,
and
we
raining.
got some crazy thunder earlier. It was like pouring outside, so I was like, God, I'm gonna lose power and I'm gonna have to like not be able to do the show. But as of right now, it seems like all is good. But yeah, we needed it though. It's been humid and hot the last 3 days, so we can use a little bit of rain.
Yeah, I was getting ready for an interview yesterday, and like 15 minutes before, my power went out like 3 or 4 times because of the thunderstorms.
Welcome to
And I
my
was
world.
like, that is my luck.
Yep.
Hadn't done an interview in like over a month, and the first one back loses power.
I had a whole week where my power was literally going out. It happened on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:40. I go live at 7:45. So like I'm like, cause if it's like an hour before, then I had time to announce, hey, no stream
Exactly.
today. But no, I was losing power as I was literally sitting here, setting up to get ready to go. I'm like, I love that. The timing was just excellent.
Yeah, and the
I had
problem
the
is,
stream set up, the chat people in the chat already, and
yep,
then poof, you
getting
can't even
hyped
go
up.
live.
No, the problem is you don't know how long it'll last for. It could be 2
Right.
minutes, 30 seconds, or 3 days. Who knows?
Exactly. That's another issue here. Like we'll have 5 minutes. Well, it just flicker and comes back, or it'll be gone for hours. You never know what you're gonna get. But listen, I'm excited that I'm here. It's not thundering right now. I think I'm good to go for the next hour to talk some pop culture with you.
Let's do it. The first topic I want to talk about, Jennifer Lawrence. She has a new movie coming out, or I think it's already out.
Okay.
But she's in the news today. It says Jennifer Lawrence. No, I never hooked up with Liam Hemsworth, despite Miley Cyrus's Flowers music video rumors. And the picture they post is the picture of Liam and
Yeah,
Jennifer
back
Lawrence
during
in
their
the
Hunger
dress.
Games. Yeah.
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 And there was a rumor that they had an affair, which is why Miley wore that gold dress in the Flowers video, which is the dress that Jennifer Lawrence wore. All this stuff. I don't know why it would come out now, because this music video and this song came out like earlier this year.
I think it's because she was at a talk show recently, because I saw another headline when I was researching for today as well. I saw another Jennifer Lawrence headline. I'm like, somebody must have gotten a pretty big interview with her, because she hasn't really done a lot lately. Oh yeah, there were. I saw the headline that I was gonna send you is that somebody asked her if she was gonna play. You know how they're making a prequel or something Hunger Games related. They asked her if she was gonna play like Katniss' mom or grandma, and I was like, she's not that old. Like, what are we doing here? But I'm not shocked by this, because Miley needs to do what she needs to do also to get her views, get her click, download the album. So I get why she did what she did. But Liam gives me F-boy, I'm going to go to the strip club when he fights with Miley vibes. Yeah. He doesn't give me, I'm going to pull Jennifer Lawrence to make Miley jealous vibes. Does that make sense?
It does. It does.
Okay. Because that's the vibes that I get from him. That. Yeah. He just gives me the, I can't stand you, boys night out. It was almost like, who did I watch recently? Oh yeah, oh my God, you will love it. There's a channel here on YouTube. I'm shouting it out. It's called It's Vitali. And he calls himself your 2000 nostalgia CEO, because he just like makes videos about that era of pop culture.
I've heard of that.
Oh, he's so good. And yesterday he came out with a video of Nick and Jessica, the newlyweds, and what happened to them, and like how they ended up feuding. And she talked about years later, Jessica Simpson talked about how they couldn't get along. They're filming Newlyweds, and there is to the point that he was just leaving and going to strip clubs for hours. Wow. That's the kind of guy that I get, Liam. Like, that's the vibes that I got out of how he did Miley. I don't know if this is true. This is me speculating. Yeah. I don't see him pulling Jennifer Lawrence. He's a cute guy, don't get me wrong, but he's lucky he even pulled Miley.
See, that's the thing. There's people out there, like Liam, who like, he is a handsome dude, right? Like, everybody loves him. He's always used for these big movie roles because
brother's
The
hotter.
girls love him, and and I think he knows it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He takes advantage of it. But let me read you this part of the article, and you tell me what you think. Okay?
Okay.
Because this is the juicy part. It
Ooh.
says many pointed fingers at the actress, but she's denying it all. She was on Andy Cohen's show. She says, telling Andy she's happy to clear it all up, claiming they only smooched once, and she didn't think there was any overlap between the lone kiss and the relationship with Miley.
Look. I think that
they only kissed once.
Okay, but I don't see a kiss as a big deal.
Is it ever just a kiss?
Yeah. It's ever just an F2 if you want it to be that way, Joey. I mean, if you let your feelings get involved, that's on that person. I do think that I'm sorry that you're hearing these truths about me, Roman, but I do think that there has to be a conversation. Not only between Miley and Liam at that point of what you consider cheating, what's not cheating, blah, blah, blah. If you're a flirt, because there are people that are naturally flirty. Yeah. I get told a lot that I flirt with everyone. I'm like, I wasn't flirting with them, but I guess that's just how I come off, right?
Yeah.
So I think you do have to have that conversation that is like, yeah, we kissed, but it meant nothing. Because it might have meant something to him, and to her, it's just like, I can see it. I done it. I kissed someone. I'm like, yeah, but that wasn't nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know. It's different because I feel everybody is different. Do you consider, and people in the chat, let us know, are you able to just consider a kiss, just something that happened that doesn't have any feelings involved? Because I can.
Here's the thing. If I'm in a relationship or I'm married and my significant other, if my wife goes and just kisses somebody else.
Yeah. Practicing for the role.
Well, I guess. But it'd have to be like, you'd have to, there has to be context. Like, was it like outside of work? Like, was it just...
Right, that's what I'm saying. Are you practicing for the role? Are you guys just kissing friends? But
yeah, like
I think
so many people who do that for movies.
I'm not trying to defend her, but I do think that there is such a thing as a kiss. It's just a kiss. It just happened. It doesn't mean anything. And maybe I'm just a very heartless person, but that's just how I function.
I kind of have to. I don't know. Samantha says no. A kiss is just not a kiss.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. If you want it to be just a kiss, it is. Do you mean to tell me you cannot kiss someone and not develop feelings? I can. It's harder for me to develop feelings after kissing someone than it is not to develop feelings.
You can, but like, for example, like if I'm married and I go kiss a girl, right? There may not be any feelings, but I overstepped my boundary with my wife, if that makes sense.
If you make those boundaries, you don't know what Miley and Liam.
That's the big thing. Do they have an open relationship?
Because at that point, you don't know. There's so many people that have their own rules to their relationships. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah. I think like you, Joey, probably are you strike me as the one woman kind of guy. And I do think that if you're involved in a relationship, you wouldn't go out and just kiss somebody else.
Exactly.
I mean, you don't kiss people just to kiss? Am I the only one with listen, I being in too many relationships and single life, you're able to just learn to not develop feelings, because if you, the same way, my opinion is the same way that you can say I'm a one person kind of relationship, I'm not gonna go just and kiss someone. I feel that you can also set your mentality to be like, I don't want to be in a relationship, so if you want to hang out with me, we can hang out, we can kiss, but it's never gonna develop further than that. And if you have that mindset too, yes, you can kiss someone just to kiss them, because why not? Yeah.
No, I think it depends on the person, and then it also depends on the type of relationship that they have with somebody else. And you know, if you're just dating and you're not committed to anybody, like I don't see, like you can go kiss 100 people. Like
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
just to kiss.
For me personally, if I was committed to one person, like you said, one and
right.
Yeah.
It's just
But they could
very
be open.
difficult
So
because you don't know what their relationship boundaries were.
yeah.
And I'm also not gonna put all the blame on her because I can't remember, but I do believe she was single at that time. So it's just
Yeah.
like I also feel like, yeah, it's a two people job here, but the single person probably has a lot less responsibilities of, I'm gonna kiss this guy. Obviously didn't mean anything, allegedly didn't mean anything to her, but I do think it was more on him. We had that conversation when we were
Yeah.
talking about the whole Adam Levine sliding into people's DMs, right? And people were
Yeah.
going after the girls, and I'm like, he's the married one. Like, we should
Yeah.
also kind of like give him more crap than what we're giving her.
And this kind of goes into the next like area of this topic that I don't think people really talk about enough, or if at all. If you are in a committed relationship and you're both actors or you're famous people, you're working in movies, like that's obviously a conversation you have to have. Like, yes, like part of my job is like making out with other people for the role, like,
And it means nothing.
and it means nothing. There are some people who are not okay with that.
Yeah.
I've seen relationships fall apart, and we've seen it in
I
Hollywood
mean, in
because of that.
wrestling, not,
In
we
wrestling,
always
yeah,
bring it back to wrestling, but how many times have we seen these fake couples that they make up and it ends up killing marriages and other people
yep,
get with other people? People lose their job over a fake wrestling relationship, So,
yep,
yeah, I do think that's what I'm saying. That
yeah,
conversation had to be had. And if you tell me, oh, Liam and Jennifer Lawrence kiss, legit, my first thought would be like,
yeah,
well, yeah, they had to practice for the role, like they make out in the movie. They were like,
yeah.
I will say though, for those that still linger, I was team Liam. I didn't like Peter. I didn't want her to end up with Peter after Hunger Games, but whatever. That's a whole other
Yeah.
topic for maybe a retro show. Because Hunger
And
Games were huge, remember?
yeah, it went from like
I
Twilight to
love
like
Hunger
Hunger Games.
Games.
Like,
I love both of them, but Hunger Games, I have issues with Hunger Game movies because I do think they PG'd it a lot
of
more.
course,
The book was so much more gory and so much
yes,
more explicit. And you have teenagers killing each other, and they
violent.
can't put
Yeah,
that right. They can't put that on the screen. But with Twilight, I felt like those movies got better as they kept being made. Like I watched the
yeah,
first one for nostalgia because it's horrible and it's not like the book. But by the time they got to Breaking Dawn, it really got good. With Hunger Games, I thought they did such a good job, and I remember how big they were. But
yeah,
I do think that they had less of a harder time getting out of those roles than some of the Twilight people did. I'm glad Robert Pattinson got casted as the Batman because that he was stalking Edward Cullen forever.
yeah. It's kind of like Daniel Radcliffe who plays Harry Potter. Like
Right.
these people,
That's
some of
it.
these people, or Ellen Pompeo who plays
Right.
Dr. Gray on Grey's Anatomy. I don't watch it. I just know the name. But
Right. No, but
these are
there's people that
who,
are just associated to this role and they can never get out of that. And a lot of the Twilight people, they were huge. They were
yeah,
huge, but they never got out of that stage. I was very happy when I saw he was gonna get casted because I like him. I think he's a good-looking guy, great actor. But my God, he was in the sparkly vampire. And I like Twilight, so I didn't have a problem with it. But you want to see them succeed? They were so young.
yeah,
So I'm glad to see Jennifer Lawrence got a lot of epic roles after she did Katniss, everything. So,
yeah.
anyways, retro show coming soon, you guys.
But like I said, there's so many other topics that we have here today, and one of them in particular was actually one that you sent to me this morning.
Oh God.
What in the hell? That's all I can
I
say.
wasn't even looking for topics. I opened Twitter and it's the first thing that showed up, and I was like, Joey, we have to talk about this because I have so many mixed emotions
Yeah.
about this, and I guess I haven't even tried to look at it from her and from her perspective. Let's tell the people what we're talking about.
Yes. So this next topic involves Pink, the artist, the singer songwriter,
The
Pink,
legend.
the legend. We've talked about her plenty of times on the show, all in good ways.
Yeah.
She was performing on stage, and a fan threw her mother's ashes on stage at Pink. It's on video. She's talking to the fan, and she's like, "Your mother?" Like
She said, "Is this your mom?" And the fan goes, "Yeah." And she just like, you can see she's straddle, and she goes, "I don't know how I feel about this," and she just settles it down. My
yeah,
favorite thing is if you watch the full clip, because the one that I sent you is just like a 10-second. If you want the
yeah,
if you want the full clip, she doesn't miss a beat. She goes right back to singing, just like I feel like it didn't even happen.
she is such a pro, so I would assume that she just goes back to normal. But I mean, listen,
the chat is going crazy. They threw their mother's ashes at
yes,
Pink on stage.
and it
We're
wasn't.
serious.
It wasn't like in like I don't know if not to
It's
get
in a Ziploc bag.
yeah, not to get morbid here or anything, but like anybody who's ever had to go through that, like cremating someone, they don't give you the ashes in a Ziploc bag.
Now you got me thinking somebody throwing the freaking metal thing up.
Like thank my mom. Like the Undertaker.
Yes.
The Undertaker. Boom. Oh yeah. Like, Paul Bear will come out like
yeah. Imagine somebody throw a freaking urn at Pink. Like
someone actually took their ashes out of an urn or out of wherever you get them from, put some in a bag, in a Ziploc bag, and threw it on stage at Pink and hit her in the head. I don't know, hit her in the head, but like, you know.
Yeah, she was. And let us know in the chat, how would you react to this? Because she was throttled. You could tell she had no idea. Baby Ice, that's my favorite chat. I'm taking it before you claim it. Baby Ice in the chat just asked, did she have to buy a ticket for her mother's? And you guys say I say messed up things here, and that's how you guys want to be acting in the chat. Shout out to Baby Ice. That popped me.
I love that. We both saw it at the same time. That was pretty fun. We were like, oh. All right, so come on, guys. I have to pick one, and we're only in the second topic.
How would you react to that, Joey?
In what sense? If I was Pink?
Yeah.
I probably would do exactly what she did, to be honest with you. I would just kind of awkwardly squat down and put it down and then go back to performing. And then after the show, be like, what in the hell just happened?
What is she supposed to do with these ashes?
Were you supposed to like hold them in your hand, dance with them? Like, what?
I don't know, but like after she kept
them? Like,
them.
what do you? I don't know. Maybe listen. Maybe there's let's create a conspiracy about it. Maybe it was just fake. Would someone really do that?
Yes. Okay, let me ask you this, and I'm not trying to get morbid or dead, but are you trying to get buried or cremated when you die?
Cremated.
Okay, I want to get cremated too. Do you have plans for your ashes?
I don't, but I have. So it's not like a thing that we we talk about or anything like that. Like it's like an awkward conversation, especially if you talk about it with your parents, because they just don't want to have that conversation. Mm-hmm. But my grandparents are buried in New Jersey, and I see the toll it took on my mom and I know it's going like way down, like dark downhill. When we moved to Florida, it was hard for her because she wasn't able to go visit the grave and take care of it and do different things. So like nowadays you can cremate somebody and take them with you wherever you go.
Right.
And it's more, I think it's more of an emotional attachment to have something physically with you.
Right.
Outside of the religious stuff of people being buried, because I know there's some religions where people are against like cremation, they want to be buried, but I personally want to be cremated. And if I had a family, obviously, to them. If I don't have a family, to my parents. Like I don't know how you would go about that.
I have plans for my ashes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's more of places. I want a little bit sprinkle here in places that I love, that I feel like, myself. Right. Yeah. But not at a specific someone, right? Like I would love for my ashes, some of them to go somewhere in one of my favorite beaches here in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
I told this to my best friend too. I want some in front of the Bellagio fountains because I love the Bellagio fountains. I could sit in front of those fountains for hours. And Yankee Stadium, which somebody mentioned, Disney World is in fact one of the top places that people try to do it. Is whether they will get caught or not, because they are watching out for it. Same with Yankee Stadium. Yeah. But I'm not saying give my ashes to Derek Jeter, right? You know what I mean? Like
throw it at him.
To me, it's just places that the people that know me well know that I just absolutely love, and but not like a specific. Like here's Roman Reigns, here's your biggest fan. Like what? That would be awkward. I don't know.
Yeah, I just feel like in all honesty, it's disrespectful, like what the fan did, not only to Pink to put her in that position, like while she's performing, but also like to that person's mom. Like,
but maybe that's what the mom wanted. What if the mom was a huge Pink mark? This is why, and again, not trying to get morbid or anything, but this is why you have to have these conversations, because you're leaving the people behind with the what am I supposed to do? And at that point, they might start assuming things based on what they know about you, you know? So also cremate me with my shoes. Don't nobody take my expensive shoes. I don't want nobody to get
Issa, I have to say, side note. Sunday, was it Sunday night?
Saturday. I think I know what you're going to talk about. Yeah.
That was the most fun I ever had on a stream, on your stream.
Sunday night.
Sunday. AW.
Yeah, that was AW. Yeah, that was for Vendor's stream. Yeah, you pulled up. Oh my god, that was fun.
I pulled up and I did not shut up. Just kept going.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I like because the pay-per-view itself was not like the most fun. So that's when it makes it worth it to do watch-alongs and watch it with a group of people, because I don't know that I had a long night the night before. I was doing the ring announcing gig. Thank you for the shout out. And I had a long day. It was full of adrenaline. So Sunday was more of a calm down kind of day. And I'm like, if I would have been watching that from my house, I would have first of all been mad that I paid for that pay-per-view, and second of all, I would have probably like fallen asleep. So I'm like, I was so glad that we ended up doing a watch along, and I'm glad you pulled up.
Yeah, well, the reason I mention it now is because I remember you bringing out the boxes of your shoes, and you mentioned your shoes. So I thought that's what.
That's right. I forgot that we show the shoes on stream.
But so what would you do in Pink's position?
I don't know. I would just sparkle into everybody's eyes. I don't know.
I think that there's so much adrenaline going, and your focus is elsewhere when you're on stage performing, that if that does happen to you don't react the same way you would if you were like at full attention, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like I'd probably be like, what the hell is this? Like, but on stage,
I'm glad that she was scared. She also, like, I like that, and that's something that you learn, and that's a skill that you have to pick up when you're put in that situation when it's awkward, you don't know what to say, don't know what to do. Quick thinking, keep singing, put them down, keep singing, and just act like it didn't happen, because then it doesn't become a thing. If she would have just been straddled and been shocked by, you know what I mean, then goes on way longer than he needed to. So I do give her a shout out for being quick thinking. I don't know how I feel about this. Respectfully puts him down and goes right back to singing like it didn't happen. But like you said, afterwards, she must have been like, WTF, because I don't think I've ever seen that before. I know we've been doing the show for a while now, but I'm always keeping track of like pop culture news, and I follow Pop Crave and all that. I never seen anything like this.
Yeah, no. It's an odd world that we live in. But speaking of an odd world, there's a new Wheel of Fortune host. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Seacrest.
No. Wait, what?
Ryan Seacrest has been named the new Wheel of Fortune host. Happened today. I remember reading something about it a while back, so I kind of knew it was going to happen. Like it was going to happen that way. But I mean, this guy is he's everywhere.
Yeah. He's been everywhere for way too long, too.
For way too long. And the problem is that there's no one else who can step up. Mm-hmm. Who else is able to do what he does?
I don't know.
Like,
and remember, at one point he was everywhere, and he was producing the Keeping Up with the Kardashians on E. He was the producer. Like he does a lot of things that we don't even see off camera.
Yep. He's still producing the Kardashians show on Hulu. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
He's a producer on the show, and he's producing all this stuff outside of, by the way, he has a lot of like health clinics. He does a lot of charity work. He is one of those people, one of the most underrated people, like celebrities, who do work without being noticed about it. Mm-hmm. He's known for like American Idol, like Live with Kelly and Ryan. All these different things, that, like, you know, the New Year's Eve, he took over Dick Clark's role. Mm-hmm. But he does so much work like outside of that is
Yeah.
so much more should be acknowledged more, that
Hmm.
it's incredible to see what he does. And now taking over Wheel of Fortune. He left a few months ago. He left live with Kelly and Ryan. That used
Right.
to be with Regis and Kelly. And now he's, I guess, taking over Wheel of Fortune with Vanna White. I mean, Vanna White
Hmm.
has been she's like I don't even know. Like she has been forever, like 40 years, 50. I don't even know how long she's been doing that show. Just
Too long.
incredible. But I like. Let me ask you this: have you ever been a fan of Wheel of Fortune? Did you ever?
Not
You ever watch?
really. Not really. It's like and I like some of the game shows. Wheel of Fortune has never hit. Wheel of Fortune is the kind of show that you watch when you go visit your grandparents or your parents, and they just have it on. It's not something that I put on voluntarily.
Yeah, maybe it's maybe it'll be something that they kind of revamp and bring back now with Ryan Seacrest, because with Ryan Seacrest, everybody knows his name and they kind of look to see what he does. So maybe they'll
How
revamp it,
old is
rebrand
he?
it.
How old is Ryan Seacrest?
He's in his 40s. I know that. I don't know how old he is, but I know he's in his 40s. Yeah, Samantha says he left.
48.
He
He's
left
48.
Kelly, and I would never think he was 48. I would think he's like 43 or 44.
48? Almost
Wow.
50.
I met him once. In Times Square.
Yeah? How was it?
A few years ago. He was practicing. It was like the day before or a couple days before New Year's Eve.
Oh, yeah. They're always out there. Yeah.
They were practicing, and he was out there, and he came over to the crowd because we didn't know what was going on. And we saw a crowd of people. We went up, and of course, I got right in the front of the gate of that little thing they have. And he came over, took a picture. I took a selfie with him.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Was he
Seemed like a
tall?
cool guy. No,
I just figure.
no, he's like average height. I would say he's like 5'10",
Okay.
if that. So, yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Ryan Seacrest hosting Wheel of Fortune. Hopefully, they do something fun with it, because there's so
It would
many
be nice
shows.
to revamp it and bring it back to like modern era, but keeping the nostalgia of it. They gotta figure out a
Yeah,
way to make it more modern while still keep it nostalgia. I'm pretty sure if somebody can, it's him. That's for sure.
I remember growing up and my grandma watching shows like that. There was Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, like all these game shows that are not really. I would assume they're not.
Oh, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire was my shit. I love
Yeah.
that game.
I used to play that game. I used to play the game on the computer.
Yeah.
It was great. But the game shows were really a thing like when we were kids,
Yeah.
and even before that. And now they're not really anything anymore.
Actually, the game show network still exists, and they'll show a couple of good ones.
Yeah, like I don't
America
know.
Says, that's a fun one.
Yeah.
America Says a bunch of BS. That's what they say. Because I've been trying to guess those answers. I watch it with my mom. She loves game shows.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to guess those answers. And a lot of times it comes down to the most stupidest things that you didn't think about. Like, come on.
Yeah. No, I'm not. I think over the years I kind of just lost the Price is Right. Samantha says Newlywed Game, Family Feud, the dating game. Family Feud is iconic. I mean, they're all iconic, but Family Feud is the one that I could say is the most relevant out of all.
I always forget that it's still on air until there's like WWE Superstars will be on like Family Feud, and I'm like, oh, that's still a thing.
Oh no, you know when I knew the last time that I actually watched it,
Yeah,
was the Kardashian family versus like Kanye's family. Did you ever see that one?
No, I need to look it up.
Oh my gosh, that's from a few years ago, but it was great. It was like Kris Jenner, Khloe, like I think Kylie, and they did like against like Kanye and his like other family. It was hysterical.
That's hilarious. I love that.
But no, Steve Harvey, another guy who does awesome things.
I used to watch the one with the cards too. With the Carton Banks. I know his name's not Carton Banks, but I always call him Carton Banks. He used to host. Yeah, like it was with the cards like a high or low, and you would be. I used to watch that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I haven't watched a game show in a long time.
I don't watch Range. I love reality TV. That's my guilt pleasure. Not necessarily game shows, but my mom loves them. So every time I'm visiting my mom, or sometimes we end up staying with them for the weekend, and I'm like consuming all of this freaking game show content. And that is like so funny because I don't know if you ever go to your parents and they're watching game shows and you like answer a bunch of things right, and they're like, "You're really smart. You should go on these shows." And I'm like, "It's just common sense. Like the question is not that complicated."
You want to know what? So my parents are not the generation. I guess they are the generation of.
Those are younger.
Yeah, they're younger. Like my dad is turning 51 this year.
Yeah.
And my mom is turning 50 in August.
Right. To me,
So,
that's
like,
younger because my parents are in their late 60s.
Yeah, they had me when they were 19 and 20.
Mm-hmm.
And their parents used to watch game shows. So like they kind of were in and out of it, but like I only watched them when I was with my grandparents. Like my parents were grew up in the 70s and the 80s, so like different stuff.
Oh my God. I used to love the briefcase one. The deal one? With
Deal
the
or no
briefcase?
deal.
Oh my God. It was just
Yeah.
to make fun of people for not making the right choice.
That guy,
a lot of times, what was his name? The bald guy that hosted it?
I forgot his name. He was a little weird.
He was.
He says some funky. I don't know if you see him on social media.
I don't.
He gets canceled all the time because he says some funky stuff. Yes.
Howie Mandel.
That guy, he says some weird stuff on social media.
I used to just always, because I always used to think like you went in there with nothing, technically speaking, right? And then we'll get so greedy because there's this big fat amount still left on the board. But it's like, if you're getting a $100,000, $200,000 offer, take it. You're gonna like, it was just, I don't want to say it's fun watching the downfall, but like, I'm like, you made a stupid choice. Like there's the odds, like even if you're looking at the odds, one big amount, three small amounts, take that freaking huge deal they're making you and leave.
You know what show I used to absolutely love?
Which one?
I know you're gonna be like, oh, because it's up your alley too. I think. And the chat's gonna say too. It's the first ever like the first time we met Joe Rogan. Fear Factor.
Oh, I love Fear Factor.
I knew you were gonna. I knew it.
Did you ever watch when MTV tried to remake it a few years ago? Ludicrous was the host.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Not the same. Not the same.
Oh man!
But you know why Fear Factor got canceled, right? When they made him drink donkey jizz.
Really?
They really look it up. Like that's literally what got them canceled. They really have people drinking donkeys
stuff.
Yeah. I'm like, that's crossing the line. I love Fear Factor just because I just never liked the eating portion of it. I'm just like, I barely eat normal food, let alone like this box or whatever, right? Yeah. But like the crazy stunts that they would do, I thought that looked like so much fun. Like I would do that in a heartbeat.
There was a lot of different like shows like that were like big in like the middle 2000s that they just everybody got
there was so many.
They can't use those anymore.
Hold on.
You know who did something similar to that? He just what's the British guy that just ended the Late Show? James Corden. He did it. He used to do a segment. He does the carpool. He used to do the carpool karaoke.
Yeah.
He used to do a thing with celebrities where he would ask them like really, really like honest questions, and if they said no, they'd have to eat like something crazy from the table. And sometimes it'd be like spiders or like guts or brains, whatever. And I remember like some crazy stuff like you would see on Fear Factor.
I like the challenge. I know a lot of people are bringing it up. The challenge is one of my favorite shows. That is one that I keep up weekly when it's airing. Like there's a couple of shows that I will tell you, Survivor, Big Brother, and the challenge I watch weekly no matter what, even if I'm watching it after I get done watching wrestling. I really like what they've done with the challenge now that they're like incorporating people from other networks and other reality, because you're not airing Road Rules or Real World anymore. So you're gonna run out of these contestants to bring in. They're getting older. They got families. Your Dog Eat Dog was the show.
Yes.
So I like that the challenge is now bringing in people from Big Brother, because they're understanding that the people consuming the content of the challenge like this kind of like competition reality TV. So why not bring other familiar faces at the same time? On Paramount Plus, the challenge has their All-Star edition where they're putting like your veterans, your classic faces that you fell in love with if you're an OG watcher. Yeah. The challenge would always be top 3 for me with Survivor and Big Brother. Big Brother and Survivor has really stand the test of time, so they're still getting millions and millions of viewers on a weekly
Only gets better and better.
Survivor just finished season 44. We're about to go. I am a little upset at Big Brother because usually when Survivor ends, we wait a few weeks. We got Big Brother. They're waiting until August for the season, and it's just like I don't have that. I do have that time. I'm gonna have to wait no matter what, right? But I'm just like I'm so used to Survivor, Big Brother, like back to back. Like I have something to watch right now. I feel like it's time off.
Yeah, and everybody in the chat or who's watching right now, let us know. Give us the most nostalgic show you can think of in the chat right now.
The
Let
real
us know.
world. This is a story of 7 strangers picked to live in a house. Oh my god, I love the OG Real World. Like,
you know what show I used to absolutely love from MTV?
What?
Cribs.
MTV Cribs was it, but it was so full of lies.
And they brought it back for a little while, and it was horrible.
Yeah, MTV is full of lies. Yeah, Big Brother started around the same time for Samantha as Survivor, but Big Brother, technically speaking, only runs one season where we get 2 seasons of Survivor. So that's why Survivor is up to season 45 now, because we get a fall and we get a, winter, like, whatever. You get my point. There's 2 seasons in a year of Survivor, where with Big Brother, we get summer. And they started doing Celebrity Big Brother, which I actually found super interesting. They have some great characters in there. But yeah, I used to love Cribs. It was just very full of lies. MTV had a lot of really ridiculous shows. You remember the Next dating show or like Room Raiders?
Yeah.
Date My Mom. Date My Mom was so ridiculous.
You keep saying the word ridiculous with MTV, and I see Jared wrote that MTV is now nothing more than a ridiculousness marathon.
Literally so ridiculous. Like, I hate it.
But there are shows. So ridiculousness is with Rob Dyrdek, one of my favorite celebrities of all time. Top 5, I would say.
Really?
Yes, I love that guy. He is like so, I don't know, someone business oriented, but also like entertaining. The shows that he's been able to have on MTV. Now ridiculousness, but before that was the Fantasy Factory. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah,
with Chanel West Coast, always getting like hurt and different things like that. And then before that was Robin Big, which was my favorite freaking show.
Big.
I used to love that show when it was on.
Big was it. I felt so sad when he ended up passing away. That was that had to be rough for everybody because you could tell he was such a lovable guy.
Yep. The theme song to that show is so iconic.
Well, I was telling you about, it's funny because of what they're saying in the chat, but I remember I told you I was watching that series of videos that a YouTuber is making, like going back and watching the VMAs.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of years in there where they're just like literally saying, NTV, go back to playing music. Like this artist predicted. And this is back when NTV was still kind of playing music. One of my favorites is, I think it was on like the 2002 or 2001 VMAs. The cast of The Hill, which this is when NTV started swerving a little bit with the content, is presenting Justin Timberlake with an award. And right in front of them, they're like, we don't need no more of these reality shows on NTV. And like the whole cast is back there like,
And then Jersey Shore comes out, and then that's like the end of it.
Oh God, I am not a Jersey Shore person.
I used to be.
Yeah, but you have that history of like,
Now it's like why? Yeah. Now the new thing is Sammy's Sweetheart is back for the first time. In like
for the drama.
Years.
But that's all. That's the last string they could pull to keep that show alive.
Yeah. So I'll probably watch like to see her return. And then that would be it.
I never watched it originally. It wasn't my kind of content, but I did watch the season that what's his name went to prison just because I found this. Yeah, I was so into that trial and all that. So, right, the situation. That's right. So I watched for that, and I watched the episode where they picked him up, like when they were there as they were like sentencing him when they picked him up from prison. Like I did watch those, but it was for alternative reason. Was never a Jersey Shore person, but this was fun. Like I can't wait to do a retro show. I think if we can take your suggestions, guys, let us know in the comment, tweet us or whatever. How would you like us to do the retro show? Do you want us to talk about our favorite, the biggest news stories from a certain era, what TV shows we enjoy, music, movies? Because I gotta figure out how we're gonna like structure that show so that we can cover everything we want.
So we're definitely planning for sometime in July, right? We figured that out. So maybe we could look up when we find out the date of the show. Maybe we can look up like what happened, like what was the drama.
We need to find out what was the number one movie, the number one song, the number one like at that for that time but for what year? That is the question.
And then we can find like the headlines for that exact day. So if it's like July 2nd, right? Let's go back to July 2nd, 2001 and see what was the celebrity headlines. And kind of like, so once we figure out that date, we'll figure out like the headlines for the show will be the headlines from that.
We just have to find the happy medium year for you and I that we were both kind of like connect, because I think we have similar tastes on what we were watching.
I'm all for whatever you.
I love anything early 2000s.
Yeah, me too.
Between 98 and 2002, things were juicy. There's a lot of content,
I agree.
So
music wise, 2003 was popping with music. I think 2003 with like that, like I don't remember. I gotta look it up, but
yeah.
I definitely like what you're saying, 98, late 90s, early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where we're going to be. But everybody in the chat, let us know like what you want to see. Like this is going to be, we're doing it big. We're going to
Bill Clinton and Monica.
We're going to have fun with it. And
we need to look up what the fashion trends were, and like what I want to do is like we were talking about it off the air, like bring in the pictures and show people, look, this was the number one song, this was the number one movie, this is what people were talking about. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, and I have an idea for a surprise. I'm not gonna say it on air, but we'll talk about it after, Issa, and let the people wonder what we're gonna do. But I think that for that show we can have some fun stuff, and
it's gonna be a blast.
It's going to be a blast from the past.
Yep.
But the final topic for today, I think, is something that's when I see it, I'm kind of like, why?
Oh no, hold on. Let me pull up your email just so that I can see. I don't know. Oh, I know what we're going to talk about. It's on the thumbnail. It's the thumbnail.
It's the thumbnail of the show.
Oh God.
So Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg don't like each other. Right? It's not only Tesla versus Facebook, but now it's Twitter versus Meta, right? Twitter and Tesla versus Facebook and Instagram, right? Someone challenged the other one to a cage fight, like they're like these crazy people. Not like that's what we cover for a living, but professionals. Leave it to the professionals,
right?
Elon Musk is now training with UFC legend GSP George St. Pierre, one of the greatest fighters.
Wait, who's training with St. Pierre?
Elon Musk.
Oh, I know he's a smart mofo. Okay, who is Zuckerberg training with?
I don't know who he's training with. I think it was Gracie. I'm not sure.
He's gonna lose.
I don't know. He's Mark Zuckerberg. If you see there's videos of him training, and he's like doing some Mortal Kombat crap. Like he's like going in. Like Mark Zuckerberg, as creepy and
he's gonna CM Punk this. Like when CM Punk went to UFC, like he has all the team, the best preparation, and then he just shows up and takes that big fat L in like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
God. Bill Gates training.
Yeah. Another one. Baby Spice killing it today.
Yeah, Baby Ice is killing it. Listen, I don't know who I was talking to about this, but I'm going to tell you something, right? I love me an older nerdy guy. And I was like, I miss when nerdy guys just wanted to be nerdy guys. Now they want to be influencers. Like, no. Stick to you're the behind the scenes guy making it all happen. That's sexy. I don't need to see you.
Look at Samantha.
Yeah, he's a nerd. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, whatever happened to just being sexy because you were a nerd and you were smart? Like, now they have to try to do it all.
Yeah.
Elon Musk, I used to think he was cool. And then he got on Twitter.
I saw him on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. No, I didn't watch his SNL, but I mean, I talked about this on here. You guys know how geeky I am. But I remember when he went on Meme Review with PewDiePie. And I was like, holy crap. Like, I thought I was the coolest thing. But this is before he was, like, so involved in anything. Yeah. Like, I was like, how did PewDiePie manage to pull this guy? Which is the biggest YouTuber, so you would expect that. But PewDiePie used to, like, make fun of Elon Musk a lot.
Yeah.
So, and if you guys are PewDiePie viewers, he would do Meme Review and clap. And he got Elon Musk to do that. And I was like, that is the coolest freaking thing. And then Elon Musk. Now you see him everywhere. So now he's not even cool anymore.
I don't know what.
How old are these guys? God, hold on. How old is Elon Musk? Do you know?
I have no idea.
All right.
He doesn't seem 40s.
Elon Musk is 51 years old.
Wow. Right.
Mark Zuckerberg is 39. Elon Musk gonna get his ass kicked, bro. Come on.
All right, look up while we're live on the air right now. Look up the videos of Mark Zuckerberg training, doing like Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Like this guy.
No way.
Yeah, he's like training and doing all this stuff. That's how it all started.
They can manage to. Oh shit! I found one. Hold on. They can manage to like make an ass out of themselves. Their names are too big. Oh, look at him submitting and everything.
He's doing it.
Oh, he's doing Brazilian. Okay. I see you. No way. Okay, wait a minute. He's actually kind of good.
He's been training for a while, and now he's like, I want to fight Elon Musk, like in a cage.
I'm now scrolling through his Instagram posts. I don't follow him. So what is happening?
Yeah.
He does look in good shape.
He's in excellent shape.
Wait, I gotta look up Elon Musk.
He is not in good shape. He is a shape.
No. Elon Musk MMA training. This is a Google search I never thought I made.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, don't do this, Elon Musk. Don't do this. UFC legend George St. Pierce to train Elon Musk. I don't know. I don't know what we're talking about. So, who challenged who? How did we get here?
I feel like this is like a bad like round table talk for like WWE. Like, how did we get here?
Okay, Elon Musk
versus Ryback. How did we get here?
Elon Musk is 6 feet tall and 1.5 inches. Zuckerberg doesn't look too tall, so Elon might have him on the reach. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. How tall? I'm like putting the numbers together for this match already and everything. You know what the bad thing is that we're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch it.
Here, this is the article has the tail of the tape. Tape. Zuckerberg's 39.
He's 5'7.5". Oh my god, no! This is gonna look like Rey Mysterio fighting the Undertaker.
Zuckerberg is 100.9 pounds.
He's 109 pounds? No. There's no. He's 109 pounds.
I'm lying.
Okay. I'm like.
I thought it said pounds.
I'm like, does he not have enough money to eat?
I thought it said pounds. Okay, so it's their net worth. I thought it said LB, not B. All right.
Shut up, bye.
I'm like crying right now. It's hysterical. All right, so Zuckerberg is 100.9 billion.
Yeah, he's got some money.
Elon Musk is 245.9 billion.
Is this before or after Twitter?
It just says, it doesn't say anything. It just says the tail of the tape. And it's funny because the tail of the tape, I wish I could show it. The tail of the tape is both of them like this.
You can. Okay, hear me out. On the bottom of your screen, you see the thing that says present?
Okay. Yes, present.
If you click it, it should say share screen.
Share screen.
And then you should be able to pick the tab.
Let's see.
Hold on, let me try to do it myself. Share screen, and then it's going to pop up your Chrome tab or whatever it is that you're using, and then you should be able to present whatever screen you want to show us.
Okay, let me see.
If not, put the link on the... Yo! Go into our brand and take the layout off.
Let's see. I'm learning how to
one-on-one, you guys. This is how we do it. This is the best way to learn. Oh my god, I love this picture already. Yes, look at you, Joey.
I'm learning.
Listen, I got you. I'm not even going to charge you for that lesson. All right.
But look at this picture.
He's 51. Yo, he's gonna get him on the reach because he don't even need Zuck to get close to him for him to punch him.
Yeah, but just look. Doesn't Elon Musk look like Jason Statham in like a Fast and Furious movie? Like
no, he looks like an alien from Men in Black. Like, you know, when they dress the aliens and they put like, and their faces look kind of weird, but that you can tell something. He looks like one of those aliens from Men in Black.
I found my favorite comment of the show.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ricky. I appreciate it.
I don't think that people understand how hard it is to do all this when you're live and you're trying to concentrate on like going live in the chat and all that. Like it is
Yeah.
a lot more difficult to do all the multitasking than people think. But I know a thing or two about multitasking while live streaming. So
You know what it is?
I got you, Joey.
I don't use StreamYards for anything. I use OBS.
But look how user friendly StreamYard is. Like it's so easy.
I think I gotta jump on that bandwagon.
Yeah. But this is a great tale of the tape. Now you just go back and find the layout.
Yeah.
There you go. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful.
Look at us.
Beautiful. Great. Who would have thought?
I'm gonna do Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah. I love that, by the way. But that's how you, at least for the articles and stuff, you can share them that way. I don't know how. I still don't know how to put up a picture, honestly. So
yeah, I think there's with slides. So if we want to add different slides, we could add.
Right.
But yes, we're gonna get more. We're gonna start using pictures more, so the people watching and listening can kind of see what we're actually talking about, opposed to just seeing. I know it's great to look at us talk, but like you get some context as to what we're talking about.
Okay, if you had to put money, you're putting your money on Zuck or Elon?
Zuckerberg.
I'm gonna go with Elon. Yeah. I feel like Elon, even in that face in that picture, he's got that evil instinct. He will figure out a way to have something installed on his freaking fist that he'll knock him out with one pointer. He's gonna send
from afar, and his fist is just gonna like.
Yeah, he'll send some freaking spaceship robots to take Zuckerberg. Like I don't know, he's gonna make his entrance in a Tesla. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, he's gonna come out on a Tesla,
and then the battery dies.
Yeah,
or it catches on fire.
And then
have you fallen down the Tesla fires rabbit hole?
No.
Okay. Well, Teslas catch on fire a lot.
I remember watching this video of Elon Musk presenting, or I don't know if it was Elon, but they were presenting a new Tesla with shatterproof glass.
Yes, I know what you're gonna say.
And they hit the glass and it shattered on stage.
I remember this too.
Yeah.
Saludito, Jair. Este es en inglés, pero agradezco que estés por ahí. You know, I gotta talk Spanish to our Spanish-speaking viewers in the chat.
There you go. I like it.
Yeah. The shatterproof glass was epic, but
yeah,
Elon. I mean, think about it. Elon got here because he with a group of people, super smart people. They created PayPal, then sold them, make a crap ton of money, and a lot of people will go off and right into the sunset with that crap ton of money because trust me, they sold PayPal for a lot. And look at how that seemed like a joke of an amount to what he's worth now, but that's how he started all these projects and all of these things. I will say though, we share my geekness. Like when was it? Last week when you were like, whose house would I buy? We all know that I'm a geek for technology, but Elon did not create Tesla. Elon kind of took over that company. That company was already made. There's a big misunderstanding on, oh my God, he created this car and all of this. It's like, no, he didn't.
I think people look at him like Steve Jobs with Apple. Like it's not the same thing.
But he's not like that. He just kind of showed up into Tesla and took over and bought the majority of the stocks and took their idea and now it's his. It's not cute the way that he did it, but it's not like a lot of people have that misunderstanding. Elon, PayPal, they did create with a group of people. They did create that. But there's a lot of Elon strikes me as the kind of guy that I told you, he's like work smarter, not harder. So, I like Twitter. I'll buy it from you. You know, like that's how Elon, I like this electric car you created. Let me buy this idea from you. Like that's how Elon functions to me.
Did you know that he is on the spectrum of autism? I didn't know that until his Saturday Night Live performance because he was very like awkward on Saturday Night Live, and it only came out after that he's on the spectrum, and that it makes some like social. He gets like social anxiety.
I'm surprised how many people are on the spectrum and how many people are on it and don't share it.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah,
and
he's awkward though. So
yeah, but Issa, anything this week that you anything new you watched or?
I haven't even had time to sleep, Joey.
I get it. I watched the new. I'm a geek for this stuff. I love The Walking Dead. I love that show. It finally ended after like 10 plus years. They ended it. But all the main characters pretty much got spin-off shows on AMC. So
Yeah.
now the one guy, Daryl Nixon, sorry, who is the guy on the motorcycle. You know who he was if you saw him. I don't know his name outside. He's getting a spin-off show. And then two main characters, Negan and Maggie. Negan's the guy who used to walk around with the spiked bat.
I know.
They got their own show now, and it takes place in Manhattan.
Oh, I can't wait. Okay, wait, is that airing already?
It just started this past weekend. Was the second episode.
Oh, so I can still catch up with this one. Okay,
it's brand new. It's called The Walking Dead: Dead City.
Okay,
and it's they go and kind of take over New York City, but so many things. There was a part of the show at the beginning of the first episode where yes, Dead City, Baby Ice. They mentioned how New York City was an epicenter for the outbreak.
Right.
And what they did to contain all those millions of people is they cut the lines of all the bridges and tunnels. And it made me think, how quick can they do that today to keep people on the island? Because New York is technically an island.
Did you not get scared when we were going through COVID? I mean, I was up there for that, and things got scary. And I remember,
I wasn't living in New York City, so
I was living in the waterfront across, but I was working in the city, and I'll never forget going for a walk in the waterfront side of Jersey and looking, and all you could see was like the Red Cross trucks, and like it was like insane. I have a video on my phone of New York City empty in the middle of a weekday. It was weird, and now like after you live that, it's very weird to watch shows like this because you're like, man, I wonder if that's where they were going with things. Remember, they had to set up tents and mobile hospitals are like Central Park because they couldn't keep like it got very scary. It got very scary for New York when COVID happened.
And stuff. Yeah. I remember driving through the streets over there when we just went to the city one day, and it was like a dead zone. Like it was just quiet. Times Square was empty.
It was the scariest thing I ever seen. I'd rather see it, and I know I get annoyed, but I'd rather be walking around a million people getting annoying at them than seeing New York like that ever again because I never saw it. And I will post a video if you guys want to see it. I'll post it on Twitter or something. It's like I'm driving through, and I'm talking about 6th Avenue heading towards Central Park. There's 55th, 56th Street. There's not a single soul, and it was at like 3 p.m. on a weekday. It was the eeriest experience of my life.
Joseph's latest comment, I agree 100%. It's never the same. It hasn't been the same. No. And now what they're doing, not to get all political and stuff, but they are bringing, I don't know, they're bringing in people from outside countries now, like by the thousand daily. And where my sister lives in the financial district, there's a few hotels over there that now they're using as housing. Yep. And businesses have already shut down.
Yeah, my best friend.
Because people are leaving the area.
My best friend has a gorgeous apartment. She lives in a gorgeous apartment building in downtown Brooklyn, which that's the bougiest of Brooklyn areas now. Right next to her, it was a hotel. And right now they turned that into some kind of like housing, and it's just like you're paying how much for rent, and that's what's next to you, where I don't even feel safe like leaving your apartment after a certain hour. That it's actually started showing up all over my recommended on YouTube. It's like why people are leaving New York, and like I get a lot of my former friends because I miss it. I miss the city. I always have told people New York, I made sense there, and I don't know how much that makes sense, but I made sense in New York. I belong there, and I'm home now, and I still don't feel how I felt there, right? So that I think maybe in my prior life I was a born and raised New Yorker because it just clicked for me when I went there, right? And I miss it, but I get a lot of my older friends that still live there. They were like, "Girl, you left at the right time," and I'm like, "Don't say that." And they're like, "No, trust me, you left at the right time." So because I never shut down the possibility of me going back to New York. That's not something I've ever said out loud because I love New York. I'm here because of a situation that I have to take care of, But yeah, it's like so weird to hear some of the places that I love like falling apart, and I ended up moving outside of the city, and I was happy where I was living. I liked my area. I know you like it too.
Yeah. And we're right next to each other.
Yeah, and I'm 5 minutes from the city. So I personally thought I had the best of both worlds where I'm not living in that
Yep.
craziness, but I will get there within 5 minutes. And depending if I
Yeah.
took the train or the bus or the ferry, I could go there anyway. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it makes me sad to hear the state of things now because that's not what I want to hear.
Yeah, but I mean, definitely check out The Walking Dead Dead City. It's actually a pretty good freaking show. Like,
I may check it out, but I just
yeah.
do you have to know everything about the Walking Dead to enjoy it or not?
Not really. So I
Okay,
can
that's
I
good.
can kind of give you a quick synopsis of what the. So I don't know if you ever remember The Walking Dead from like 5 or 6 years ago was like the hottest thing going
Yeah,
because
I watched the first like 3 seasons of it.
okay, so do you know who Maggie is?
Yeah.
Okay, Maggie, and do you know who Glenn is?
Yes.
Okay, Maggie and Glenn along because this is all part of the comic book series, and they kind of played on what happens in the comic books. Maggie and Glenn fall in love. They get married. Maggie gets pregnant. Negan comes, and he's the new bad guy with the
Right.
baseball bat. He kills Glenn
That's
in front of Maggie.
great.
Now, all these years later, they need to help each other, Negan
Oh,
and Maggie.
and they don't trust
Because
each other, obviously.
so the new plot of the show, which has nothing to do with the other show, the new plot is there's a new bad guy, and they abducted Maggie's son, and she has to get him back. And
So
she looks to
basic,
Negan to help her.
so basically, it's two ultimate enemies because of their prior storyline having to work together.
Yes,
That's
and they
basically what you need to know
essentially.
going into it.
So he learns like love and compassion from her, but she also learns
To
the
be mean and evil
dangerous.
from him, right?
Exactly.
I love those kind of combinations of things.
So you're already seeing in the first two episodes like that
It's,
the
it's,
dynamic is like
it's basically us. You're gonna learn how to kiss someone just to kiss them and not have feelings. And I'm gonna teach you that, and you're gonna teach me how
yes,
to be soft and open up to people. See, Joey?
yes, and baby, I said it here. The new bad guy was a former employee of Negan, so he's a guy that
Oh,
Negan
okay.
basically trained to be like him.
I don't
And
have a problem like trying to watch something like this. It's just I
yeah,
hate when they do a spin-off and you have to like know the entire history. With the synopsis that you gave me, as long
yeah,
as they make the shows, okay, you understand this is their backstory. Great, let's
yeah.
move on from that because
That's
otherwise
all it
you're
is.
never gonna get newer viewers. You know what I mean?
Yep, yep. I mean, it does
Perfect.
help to
I'll
know
check it out.
does help to know like the whole thing because then you can kind of have an emotional attachment to the characters. But even what I just told you, you know everything.
Yeah.
You just don't know the drawn out parts.
Right. I just didn't get to like what Negan did or
Yeah.
any of that. I only got into like 3 seasons and then I stopped. But I'll watch it. I've always been fascinated with horror in New York. Like that was one of the reasons why I love Scream 6, the scenes of the subway. Like New York City can be such a scary place. And the way that I see it is like you literally could get killed and nobody will notice it. And that to me is just completely
nobody's looking.
terrifying.
They're all like
No, we're all like this. I still function that way, which I have a hard time with that. That's a whole different conversation, but I have a hard time with that here. Here also people are nice, and I don't do that. Like you walk into places and everybody's like, "Good afternoon." No, I'm just walking.
Don't talk to me.
You know, right? So
That's
I'm
the
like,
New York
I
attitude.
still. Everybody's like, they call me la New Yorican aquí because I still have like that same attitude because I'm just like, that's just how you're forced to be. The only thing that I will say is get out of my way, you know. So. It's like really funny because I'm like, if you watch, I don't want spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen Scream 6, but on the beginning, the first kill scene, she goes into an alley and she gets killed right then and there. And like I can remember somebody in the movie theater because I watched it here saying nobody noticed, and I'm like, it's New York, nobody would notice. She could scream and you wouldn't be able to hear it because it's so loud. Like these things could really happen. So I've always been fascinated with good horror in New York City because I think people think because it's crowded, it's the wrong like place to set horror. No, it's perfect for horror. Except for Jason. Jason Goes to Manhattan is the biggest piece of crap.
It'd be a very weird movie.
No, Jason went to Manhattan. You haven't seen it?
Jason Went to Manhattan?
Yeah, from Friday the 13th. There's a Jason Goes to Manhattan movie.
Really?
Yeah, but they filmed the majority of it in Canada, so there's barely any New York scenes, and like a lot of it is just like they weren't really New York. It was gonna cost them too much, but there is a Jason Goes to Manhattan. It's the biggest piece of dog shit there is.
Isn't there one that Jason Goes to Space or something like that?
Yeah, Jason. Hey, don't hate on Jason X. Jason X is. I like Jason X. Listen. Look, Baby Ice is shorting it out to Jason X and I know a lot of people didn't like it, but Jason versus Freddy, I thought slapped.
That's my favorite
I
one.
love that movie.
That's my favorite one.
Freddy is such a sick individual that he's like, if I can only like hunt people in the dreams, let me bring somebody that can hunt them when they're alive. Like that movie was it. Now imagine if we had some Michael Myers in there. Oh my god. Their ultimate showdown. Like I don't care if the acting was, I don't care if the acting was bad. I wanted to see Freddy and Jason fight, and I got that. Like, why are people complaining about?
I remember seeing that movie as a little, because that movie I think came out in what, 2003, 2004.
This is the part of the show where Joey makes us feel old.
I was I was what, like 10 years old or something like that, and I saw that movie in the theater.
Damn.
And I was traumatized, but I loved it. I loved horror movies. I
think Freddy Krueger is such an iconic figure because somebody that's hunting you in your dreams and you can't go to sleep. Like it's terrifying when that exhaustion starts hitting, and how you keep it. Like I love the storyline behind his character. I thought Freddy, technically speaking, is a sick F. He was a P word. Like Freddy's messed up if you look into his story. But my first movie that I remember ever seeing was Gremlins 2. So the first time I ever saw Hulk Hogan, it wasn't at a WrestleMania. It was at the freaking Gremlins movie because I grew up in Puerto Rico wrestling, So like it was so funny because everybody's first memory of Hulk Hogan, especially now that we're in this, industry too, covering wrestling, people have all these matches, and I'm like, well, I remember him from Gremlins. Like that's the first time I was watching WWC in Puerto Rico. Okay, I wasn't watching whatever people were watching up here at that time. So yeah,
I love it. But it's funny. We always touch on wrestling,
everything,
horror movies. We have our
thing.
I mentioned it once, but it was in reference to something else. We didn't mention anything Kardashian today, besides
the Price is Right. The Family Feud. Yeah, I'm proud of us, but they weren't in the news this week. I can tell you that yesterday I was on Instagram and Kendall Jenner was walking a runway show for a designer. I can't remember the name of the designer, but it was so funny because I joined to view, and you know who was watching? Bad Bunny. I was like, what a supportive kid, because I know he's here right now. He was he owns a basketball team here, Los Cangrejeros de Santurces, and he's been going to their games here. So I know he's in the island and she's over there in like the other side of the world. But I was like, what a supportive king. We also saw him sporting a K necklace, in his time here in the island. So I think this is going somewhere here.
Could be. You are our number one reporter, our Bad Bunny Benito reporter.
On site.
On site. I love it. I think that concludes our show for today. So many fun topics and stuff. This is a show for someone who can multitask because we go everywhere.
Yeah, we do.
We go everywhere.
If you have ADHD, this is the show for you.
I mean, we talked about Freddy versus Jason. We talked about Bad Bunny. We talked about Jennifer Lawrence. We talked about if we would like to be buried or cremated. I mean, we went everywhere today. The only place we didn't go down to is the Titanic.
I got so much crap over that comment last week, and I'm like, I'm sorry. It just naturally came out. It's a very sad ending, but unfortunately, I've been watching a lot of videos. Oh my God, before we go, did you see the video of the YouTuber that was supposed to go? He went on the excursion.
Yes.
That was
supposed to go.
Yeah, he was invited. But there's this YouTuber that was inside the freaking submarine. He was going down to the Titanic and they couldn't because of the weather. And there's a video going viral. Like I think it showed up on my recommended and he already have millions and millions of views, but he's just hanging out with them a week before everything happened. And I wonder if they would have gone down while he was there, would that happen to him? Like he has shots of him inside the submarine. Everybody looks so happy and like in such a it's a very eerie video, and I thought he did it respectfully because you have to remember he's putting out content there of a vlog that he made before he knew all of this was happening. So people are cheering, people are just having fun and happy because nobody knew what was gonna happen. So I thought the way that he edited it was still tasteful, but you guys need to go find that video because it is so eerie that it happened, and like the next mission, what ended up happened.
Samantha said Mr. Beast was supposed to go. And then Jared, Mr. Visa, dodged a bullet there. Yeah.
And James Cameron have been commenting a lot. He's the director of the movie Titanic, who apparently, I never knew this until now, he's a big expert in submarine. Like, he really got into all that stuff.
Really?
And he said the CEO of Ocean Gate asked him to go submerge with him on multiple occasions, and James Cameron didn't go. Now he's saying that he feels guilty that he didn't voice it more, but he said once they started selling the packages, he thought they were certified, and they weren't. They were never certified.
Yeah, it's a sad situation,
Mm-hmm.
and now we're seeing all these conspiracy. I read a conspiracy that like the people that went down owed so much money. They were all like billionaires, and they owed so much money, so it's like they faked their own death. And then it's so many other like. Regardless of what happened, if there was a life that was that was taken, thoughts and prayers to the families and everybody who's involved. This is something that shouldn't have happened, regardless.
The one that made me very sad is the kid that was there with his dad, because he said that he was terrified to go, but he wanted to do it for his dad because it was on Father's Day week and all that. Like, that is so sad. But I feel like when it's meant for you, it's meant for you. Like the end, death. Otherwise you can't cheat death. Have you seen Final Destination movies? It's gonna come get you no matter what. So when it's your time, it's your time, and I hope the families, find peace. But that whole story is so weird. The conspiracy theory is like, it's driving me crazy, because it's like, no, it's very obvious that this was a very poorly built submarine, but people also signed a paper that literally mentioned the word death in it 10 times. They knew what they were getting into. And there's a lot of experts out there saying we all knew what we were getting into. Even the ones that go in the safest of submarines know that if something goes wrong down there, you're done.
Yep.
So this is a decision that they also made. The son really, really feel bad about, because the decision kind of felt made for him.
Yeah. But I want to end this show on a positive, fun note. We have some comments here from Ricky. Thank you, Issa and Joey. A fun podcast. Another one. I love this podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for making this so enjoyable, because we engage with you. We engage with the chat, and it's really fun. It's not just a conversation between Issa and I. It's a conversation between Issa and I and all the people in the chat. So it is really fun to have everybody here. And I'm recognizing names now who always come on this show, who are on part of Issa's chat as well. So always love to see people and engage with you guys. So
oh no, I froze. I'm trying to figure out if I'm frozen or if Joey's frozen. I think Joey is frozen.
I don't know what just happened.
I think you froze up on me, or I froze up on you. I don't know. I just muted it. I'm like, okay, well. Saludito, Jael. Gracias por pasar por ahí.
Yeah, but yes, thank you everybody for tuning in for another show. 36. We're almost 40. I love it.
I can't wait to celebrate 52. That's a year. Well, we probably getting to the year, because we haven't gone on every week, so we gotta be getting close to the year of doing this.
Yeah. I think so. But right. I appreciate you and everyone's watching, and we'll see you guys maybe next week.
I don't know. Yeah, we haven't figured out, because it's 4th July. So stay tuned to know your news and follow us, and we'll let you know what we're doing next Tuesday, because it's a big holiday. So I'm not too sure.
Yes. And then look out for more info regarding the retro show. We're going to have some fun stuff planned for that.
Yes.
And, we'll see you guys all when we see you.
Bye.